Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive.
Yeah.
And today we're going to be looking at one of the most influential figures in modern tech, Elon Musk.
Oh, yeah.
You've given me a fascinating collection of sources to work with today.
Yeah.
We have his Wikipedia entry.
Oh, wow.
A Forbes profile.
Okay.
Some details from Tesla's own website.
Interesting.
And even a translated Euro news article from Turkish media.
Wow.
Okay. So we've got some diverse perspectives here.
Okay.
I think we can really get some intriguing insights that go beyond the typical headlines with this one.
Yeah, I think with this many sources, I think we can really get a well-rounded picture.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's start with his early life. The Wikipedia entry mentions a pretty disturbing incident from his childhood in South Africa. He was hospitalized after being severely beaten by a group of boys at school. They even threw him down a flight of concrete stairs.
Oh, wow. That's terrible.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. So he grew up in South Africa.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this seems like it was a pretty formative experience for him.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I
can imagine.
It's a shocking detail, and one that Musk himself has spoken about publicly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He even described his father's reaction as being quite harsh, berating him for being an idiot after the incident.
Oh, wow.
Now, Musk's father, Errol, denies the specific accusation of verbal abuse.
Okay.
But he does acknowledge that Elon called the other boy stupid.
Oh, so he admits that part of it.
Right.
Okay.
So it paints a difficult picture of his childhood for sure.
It does, yeah.
And raises questions about the kind of environment that shaped him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's gonna have a big impact on you, I think.
I was a kid, yeah.
It's hard to imagine going through something like that at such a young age.
It is.
Yet even with those challenges, Musk seemed to have a voracious appetite for knowledge.
Okay.
He was deeply into science fiction.
Really?
Devouring classics like The Lord of the Rings.
I love those books.
Yeah, they're great.
And The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
That's a good one, too.
Yeah.
I like that.
So what do you think? Do you think these early literary influences played a role in his later ambitions?
It's an interesting connection for sure.
Yeah.
These stories explore themes of innovation, exploration, pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Yeah.
So it's not hard to see how those ideas could resonate with someone like Musk, who would go on to found companies focused on space travel and disrupting established industries.
Totally. And we can't forget about his early foray into the world of technology.
Yes.
Teaching himself to program at 10 years old.
Wow.
And then selling his first computer game for $500 by the age of 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he was a bit of a prodigy.
A child prodigy.
Yeah.
It speaks volumes about his drive and entrepreneurial spirit from a young age.
For sure. Yeah.
It's incredible to think he was coding before most kids even knew what a computer was.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's wild.
So how did this young prodigy go from programming to building a business empire?
So after finishing high school in Pretoria, he moved to Canada.
Okay.
And later attended the University of Pennsylvania, earning degrees in both economics and physics.
Oh, wow. So he's got like a
well-rounded
education.
Double major.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is.
The fact that he pursued a double major in those demanding fields already sets him apart.
Yeah.
It demonstrates a thirst for knowledge and an ability to excel in diverse areas.
Absolutely.
But his path wasn't always straightforward.
Oh.
A recent expose in the Washington Post revealed that while building his first company, Zip2, he was actually working in the U.S. illegally.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he was...
That's an intriguing detail considering his current stance on immigration.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's one of those instances where someone's personal history clashes with their public persona.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
So Zip2 was an online city guide. That was a precursor to platforms like Google Maps.
Okay.
It was eventually sold to Compaq, netting Musk a significant sum.
Gotcha.
And it was this success that laid the foundation for his next venture, X.com, which, as many know, would evolve into the global online payment giant PayPal.
Oh, wow. So that's how PayPal got started.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the founding of PayPal and its subsequent sale to eBay was a pivotal moment.
Yeah.
Not just for Musk personally, but for the entire tech landscape.
Okay.
And it was from the ranks of PayPal's early employees that the so-called PayPal Mafia emerged.
The PayPal Mafia.
Yeah, have you heard of this?
I have, yeah.
This is a group that would go on to found companies like YouTube,
oh, wow,
LinkedIn, and SpaceX, to name just a few.
Okay.
It makes you wonder, what was it about PayPal that fostered this incredible breeding ground for future innovators? Was it Musk's leadership,
Right.
the company culture,
Uh-huh.
or simply a confluence of brilliant minds at the right time?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
I think it was a combination of factors.
Okay.
Musk, with his ambitious vision, relentless drive, undoubtedly played a role.
Yeah.
But the company culture at PayPal was also known for being fast-paced, innovative, and encouraging of risk-taking.
Okay.
So this environment attracted some of the brightest minds in Silicon Valley
Right.
and gave them the space to experiment and develop their ideas.
I see.
Yeah.
So in a way, PayPal wasn't just a company. It was a launch pad for a whole generation of tech entrepreneurs.
Yeah, and Musk, right at the center of it all, helped set the stage for the digital revolution we're living through today.
It's true, but of course his ambitions wouldn't stop there.
Yeah.
He set his sights on something even bolder, space exploration, with the founding of SpaceX.
SpaceX, okay.
Yeah.
So this is where he wants to colonize Mars, right?
Right. SpaceX is perhaps the most striking example of Musk's desire to push the boundaries of what's possible and challenge conventional thinking.
Oh.
Remember, his fascination with space travel goes way back to his childhood.
Right.
And fueled by a growing frustration with the slow pace of government-led space programs, he decided to take matters into his own hands.
Oh, wow.
And didn't he do that in a spectacular fashion?
Yeah.
From developing reusable Falcon 9 rockets that significantly reduced the cost of spaceflight to launching the Dragon spacecraft, which ferries astronauts to and from the International Space Station.
Oh, wow.
Then there's the iconic image of Starman in a Tesla Roadster hurtling through the cosmos.
Oh, yeah.
It's like something straight out of a science fiction novel.
I know. I remember seeing that picture. It's so cool.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And while those images capture the imagination, the real impact of SpaceX goes much deeper.
Okay.
They're challenging established aerospace giants like Boeing, driving down the cost of space access, and ultimately pushing humanity closer to becoming a multiplanetary species.
Okay.
That's Musk's ultimate goal.
Okay.
To make life multiplanetary, starting with Mars.
Gotcha.
It's a vision that has been met with both excitement and skepticism.
I bet.
And it hasn't been without its controversies. SpaceX's Starlink project, for instance, aims to provide global internet coverage with a constellation of satellites.
Right.
But it has also sparked concerns about light pollution, space debris, and even Musk's involvement in the Ukrainian conflict.
Okay, so that's what Starlink is.
Yeah.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's what it was.
It's a prime example of how technology can be both a force for good and a potential source of new challenges.
I see.
The project has the potential to bridge the digital divide and bring internet access to underserved communities worldwide.
Gotcha.
But the sheer number of satellites involved raises legitimate concerns about the impact on astronomy and the long-term sustainability of space exploration. And then there's the question of how a private company with such powerful technology should be regulated and held accountable on the global stage, especially when its actions have geopolitical implications.
Absolutely.
Those are some big questions that we'll definitely need to revisit.
We'll have to,
as we continue our deep dive.
For sure.
Speaking of shaping the future, we can't leave out Tesla. It's hard to overstate the impact this company has had on the automotive industry, turning electric vehicles from a niche market into a mainstream phenomenon.
That's true,
Before Tesla, electric cars were often viewed as impractical. And let's face it, not very exciting. But Musk, with his relentless focus on innovation and design, turned that perception on its head.
Okay.
From the sleek Model S, which showed that electric cars could be luxurious and high-performing, to the Model 3, which brought electric mobility to the masses. Tesla has completely disrupted the automotive landscape.
I see.
Let's not forget the Cybertruck.
Oh, yeah.
Its futuristic and polarizing design is a testament to Musk's willingness to challenge convention and push boundaries.
It is a weird-looking truck.
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
It's definitely unique.
Yeah, it is.
Tesla's impact goes beyond just selling cars. They've spurred a global push towards electrification, forcing traditional automakers to scramble to catch up.
Gotcha.
And they've made significant strides in battery technology and charging infrastructure, paving the way for a sustainable transportation future.
That's great.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's a remarkable story of innovation and disruption. But it's not without its bumps in the road.
Oh.
Indeed.
What happened?
Musk's time at the helm of Tesla has also been marked by controversies.
Oh, no.
From his often unpredictable tweets that have landed him in hot water with regulators, especially the SEC, to accusations of misleading investors and concerns about worker safety at Tesla factories.
So
It seems that with Musk, groundbreaking innovation and controversy often go hand in hand.
So like a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Take the recent saga of his $55 billion pay package from Tesla.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
It is.
Yeah.
A Delaware judge ordered it rescinded.
Oh.
But Musk, in typical fashion, responded by publicly criticizing the state on his newly acquired X platform, formerly Twitter.
Oh, right.
Saying, never incorporate your company in the state of Delaware.
Oh, wow.
Yet, despite the backlash, the shareholders re-ratified his pay package in June 2024.
Really?
Yeah.
So
It highlights the complex relationship between Musk, his companies, and the public's perception of him.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a reminder that behind the headlines and the larger-than-life persona, there's a very real human being at the helm of these companies.
That's true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But Tesla is just one facet of Musk's ever-expanding empire. His entrepreneurial ventures span a remarkably diverse range of fields.
Oh, wow. What else does he do besides all this?
That's right from Neuralink,
Okay.
which aims to develop brain-computer interfaces with the potential to revolutionize how we interact with technology.
Oh, wow.
To the Boring Company, which is tackling traffic congestion with underground tunnels.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Musk seems determined to solve some of humanity's most pressing problems with innovative, if sometimes unconventional, solutions.
I see.
And let's not forget his involvement in the Tom Luang cave rescue,
Oh, right.
where he offered his engineering expertise to help save a group of trapped boys in Thailand.
Yeah.
Seems like his interests no bounds.
He does, yeah.
And he even dabbled in music, releasing a rap track titled R.I.P. Harambe
Really?
and an EDM track called Don't Doubt Vibe.
I gotta check these out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although the critical reception to his musical endeavors was, shall we say, mixed.
I bet.
Ye-
I bet.
His forays into music highlight another side of Musk,
Okay.
a playful, sometimes eccentric personality that defies easy categorization.
Yeah.
It seems he's not afraid to try new things, even if they fall outside his areas of expertise. And even if they don't always succeed,
Right.
they reveal a willingness to experiment and push creative boundaries.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's a fascinating blend of ambition, innovation, and a touch of the unexpected.
Yeah.
It's no wonder people are both intrigued and bewildered by him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It's a potent combination that has propelled him to extraordinary heights, both in terms of his achievements and his wealth.
Speaking of wealth, no conversation about Elon Musk is complete without acknowledging his status as the wealthiest person on the planet.
Yeah.
It's a staggering amount of wealth and influence that raises important questions about the role of billionaires in society and the ethical implications of concentrated power.
It's true.
Yeah.
It does.
Musk's first appearance on the Forbes billionaires list came in 2012 with a net worth of $2 billion.
Okay.
Now, just over a decade later, his wealth is estimated to be well over $300 billion.
Wow.
It's hard to even comprehend that kind of wealth.
It is. Yeah.
And Musk's outspoken views and active presence on social media,
Yeah.
particularly on X, formerly Twitter,
Right.
have given him a platform to reach millions and shape public discourse.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
His online presence is certainly a force to be reckoned with.
It is.
He uses X to share company updates,
Okay.
engage with his followers, and express his often provocative opinions on a wide range of topics,
Gotcha.
from technology and politics to the future of humanity.
I see.
And he's not shy about courting controversy, is he?
Oh, like what?
Whether it's his stance on preferred gender pronouns, his praise for China's government,
Oh.
his criticism of the U.S., or his tendency to meme his way through complex issues, Musk seems to relish challenging norms and pushing people's buttons.
Oh, wow.
His online persona is a blend of visionary pronouncements, witty retorts, and sometimes inflammatory statements that spark intense debate and division.
Okay.
It's a constant source of fascination and frustration for both his supporters and his critics.
Yeah, I bet.
It's almost impossible to remain neutral about him.
Yeah.
He evokes strong opinions from people across the spectrum, and his recent political involvement, especially with Donald Trump, has added another layer of complexity to his public image.
Okay.
According to Forbes, he's become one of Trump's biggest financial backers and has even agreed to co-chair the Department of Government Efficiency,
Wow.
DOGE.
Coach.
Yeah?
Okay.
In a potential second Trump administration.
Oh, wow.
It's a move that has alienated some of his supporters and raised questions about his motives and political leanings.
Oh, sure.
Some see it as a sign of his increasing influence and desire to shape policy,
Right.
while others view it as a betrayal of his earlier, more progressive stances.
I see.
And there are the defamation lawsuits he's faced.
Right.
Remember the deepfake video incident involving Kamala Harris?
I do.
And the lawsuit from Ben Brody, who was falsely accused by Musk of being involved with neo-Nazis.
Oh.
And we can't forget the ongoing legal battle with the SEC, stemming from his refusal to testify in their investigation into his Twitter stock purchases.
So
It seems that controversy is never too far behind.
it seems like he's always in some kind of trouble.
Yeah, it all paints a picture of a man who is simultaneously brilliant, ambitious, reckless, and often seemingly at odds with himself.
Yeah, it's hard to
It
sit a read on him.
It is.
Yeah.
So let's shift our focus to the man behind the headlines.
Okay.
What can we learn from Elon Musk's personal life?
Okay.
After all, this is a man who has experienced multiple marriages,
Okay.
has a large family, and even chooses unconventional names for his children.
Oh, yeah, like that one kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
XAHEI or whatever. His personal life has certainly generated as many headlines as his business ventures.
It has.
He's spoken openly about his struggles with loneliness and the challenges of balancing his demanding work schedule with family life.
Right.
And his parenting choices,
Mm-hmm.
such as naming his child that name, have sparked curiosity and debate.
It has.
It seems like he approaches his personal life with the same unconventional thinking that he applies to his businesses.
Yeah, it seems like he just doesn't care what people think.
Yeah.
He's just going to do what he wants.
That independent streak certainly extends to his views on everything from technology and politics to the very future of humanity.
That's a good point, and that leads us to a crucial question. What drives this man?
Right.
What are his motivations behind all this relentless innovation ambition and at times reckless behavior?
Right.
He's spoken about his intense work ethic and his desire to make a meaningful impact on the world.
Yeah.
He sees himself as someone who's trying to solve humanity's biggest problems, from climate change to the threat of artificial intelligence to the very survival of our species.
He even envisions making humanity a multiplanetary species, starting with colonizing Mars.
Right.
It sounds crazy to some, but maybe that's what it takes to achieve truly groundbreaking things, to dream big, to be willing to fail, and to never stop pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, there's a certain allure to that kind of audacious optimism,
Yeah.
even if it sometimes borders on delusion.
Right.
But it's important to remember that Musk's vision is just one perspective, and there are many other ways to address the challenges we face as a species.
That's a crucial point.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in the hype surrounding Musk and think that he has all the answers. But the reality is much more complex.
Yeah.
There's no single solution that will magically solve all of humanity's problems.
Right.
And that's where critical thinking comes in.
Okay.
We need to be able to evaluate different perspectives,
Right.
to weigh the risks and benefits,
Right.
and to make informed decisions about the path we want to take as a society.
That's true.
And that's why we're here today.
Yeah.
This deep dive is not about telling you what to think about Elon Musk.
Right.
It's about equipping you with the knowledge and insights to form your own conclusions.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's about understanding his impact, both positive and negative, and engaging in a meaningful discussion about the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah. We've covered a lot of ground already, but we've just scratched the surface. We've explored Musk's journey, from his childhood in South Africa to his dreams of colonizing Mars.
Right.
We've examined his successes, his failures, his controversies, and his undeniable impact on the world. We've delved into the complexities of his personality, his motivations, and his vision for the future.
Right.
And hopefully we've left you with more questions than answers.
Yeah.
Because that's what true learning is all about.
That's true.
So with that in mind, let's pause here for now.
Okay.
Join us in part 2 as we continue our deep dive into the fascinating world of Elon Musk.
Sounds good. Welcome back. When we left off, we were pondering the complex and often contradictory nature of Elon Musk. It's clear he's a driving force in tech and innovation, but his path is rarely straightforward.
You're right. It's like he's constantly pushing the boundaries, not just in his businesses, but in how he approaches life in general. We talked about his unconventional family life, his outspoken views, and his willingness to take risks, even if they lead to controversy. All of this begs the question, what's the end game here? What's the ultimate vision driving Elon Musk?
That's a question that has fascinated observers for years. One way to understand Musk is through the lens of existential risk. He's repeatedly expressed concerns about threats to humanity's long-term survival, things like climate change, artificial intelligence run amok, even potential asteroid
But
impacts.
doesn't shy away from the big scary scenarios, does he?
Yeah.
But how does that tie into his companies and projects?
Many of his ventures can be seen as attempts to mitigate these existential risks. SpaceX, with its focus on colonizing Mars, is arguably the most direct example. He believes that becoming a multiplanetary species is essential for ensuring humanity's survival in the face of potential catastrophes on Earth.
So it's not just about exploring space for the sake of exploration, it's about creating a backup plan, a safety net for humanity.
Precisely. And while the idea of colonizing Mars may seem like science fiction to some, Musk is convinced that it's not only possible but necessary for the future of our species. It's this sense of urgency, this belief that he's working against the clock, that seems to fuel his relentless drive and ambition.
It explains why he's willing to push so hard, to take risks, to challenge conventional wisdom. He sees himself as having a mission, a responsibility to safeguard humanity's future.
That's a powerful motivator, and it helps to explain why he's attracted such a devoted following. Many people see him as a visionary, a leader who's not afraid to tackle the biggest challenges facing our world.
But that kind of savior complex can also be dangerous. It can lead to a lack of accountability, a belief that the ends justify the means.
You're absolutely right, and that's where the conversation gets nuanced. We need to balance admiration for his achievements with healthy skepticism about his methods and motives. Just because he's focused on tackling existential risks doesn't give him a free pass to disregard ethical considerations or the well-being of others.
It reminds me of the concerns surrounding his Starlink project. While it has the potential to provide internet access to remote areas, there are also questions about the environmental impact of launching so many satellites and the potential for misuse by governments or powerful actors.
Exactly. Technology is a double-edged sword. It can be used for good or for ill, and as we've seen throughout history, concentrating too much power in the hands of any individual or organization can have unintended consequences.
So how do we reconcile these conflicting aspects of Elon Musk? Is he a force for good, a reckless disruptor, or something in between?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And I don't think there's a simple answer. He's a complex individual operating in a complex world. His story is still unfolding, and it's one that we need to watch closely with both curiosity and critical thinking.
I agree, it's tempting to fall into the trap of hero worship or demonization. But the truth is likely somewhere in the gray area.
Precisely. And that gray area is where the most interesting conversations happen. It's where we have to grapple with the ethical dilemmas of emerging technologies, the responsibility of powerful individuals, and the very future of humanity in a world that's changing faster than ever before.
So where do we go from here? We've explored his past, his motivations, his successes, and his controversies. What's the key takeaway for listeners as they continue to follow Elon Musk's journey?
I think the most important thing is to stay engaged, to remain informed, and to never stop questioning. Musk is a master storyteller, and he's very good at promoting his vision of the future, but it's crucial to remember that his perspective is just one of many.
We need to listen to other voices, to consider different perspectives, and to engage in thoughtful debate about the kind of future we want to create.
That's right, and to recognize that the future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we actively shape through our choices, our actions, and the stories we choose to believe in.
It's a powerful reminder that we all have a role to play in shaping the future. But before we wrap up our deep dive, let's take a moment to reflect on Elon Musk's impact on the world so far.
He's undoubtedly one of the most influential figures of our time. His companies are pushing the boundaries of what's technologically possible, and his ideas are sparking debate and innovation across multiple industries.
From revolutionizing the automotive industry with Tesla to reinvigorating the space race with SpaceX, he's challenged established norms and forced us to rethink what we thought was possible.
His impact on technology, transportation, and even our perception of humanity's place in the cosmos is undeniable. And while he's also generated his fair share of controversy, there's no denying that he's left an indelible mark on our world.
His story is far from over, and it'll be fascinating to see how it continues to unfold. But before we delve into some final thoughts, let's take a quick pause. We'll be back in a moment to wrap up our deep dive into the world of Elon Musk. Welcome back to the show. So we've spent a lot of time really unpacking Elon Musk's journey, his motivations, and his impact on the world.
It really has been fascinating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's someone who really defies easy categorization.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it.
I mean, he's a
Yeah.
brilliant engineer,
Yeah.
a visionary entrepreneur, a master of marketing,
Uh-huh.
and a magnet for controversy.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm curious, as we wrap up this deep dive,
Mm-hmm.
how do you think Elon Musk will ultimately be remembered? What's his legacy?
Well, that's a big question.
It is a big question.
One that I think historians will be debating for decades to come.
Right.
I mean, his story is still being written, and it's intertwined with so much that, the trajectory of technological advancement,
Yeah.
the rise of social media,
Mhm.
the evolving relationship between humanity and the cosmos.
A lot.
It is, yeah.
He's often compared to figures like Thomas Edison,
Oh, yeah.
Henry Ford,
Uh-huh.
Steve Jobs,
Right.
individuals who fundamentally reshaped industries and left an indelible mark on society.
Right.
But Musk seems to operate on an even grander scale.
Tackling challenges that extend beyond the realm of any single company or industry.
He's not afraid to think big, that's for sure.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
He's set his sights on some of humanity's biggest problems, from climate change
Right.
to the potential threats of artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing it with this blend of audacious optimism,
Yeah.
technological prowess,
Yeah.
and a showman's flair for capturing the public's imagination.
He knows how to put on a show, that's for sure.
He does.
Yeah.
But it's that showmanship that I think rubs some people the wrong way.
Yeah, some people see it as arrogance or disregard for the sensitivities of others.
Yeah, it can be a little abrasive.
It can be.
I mean, his tweets,
Yeah.
public pronouncements, his tendency to wade into controversial topics,
Yeah.
it can all come off as a bit much for some folks.
It definitely contributes to that love him or hate him dynamic that surrounds him. Yeah,
But even his critics would have to acknowledge the sheer scale of his accomplishments.
I think so. He's built companies that are revolutionizing the way we think about transportation, space exploration, and even the very nature of human consciousness.
It's pretty remarkable.
It is.
Yeah.
And he's also shown a remarkable ability to adapt and learn from his mistakes.
Yeah, he has.
Tesla's early struggles with production and quality control were well documented.
Right.
But he and his team managed to overcome those hurdles and build a company that's now a major player in the automotive industry.
Yeah, they really turned things around.
They did.
Yeah.
And SpaceX, despite early setbacks and skepticism from industry veterans, has proven that private companies can compete with government agencies in the realm of space exploration.
Yeah,
They've achieved milestones that many thought were impossible just a few years ago.
they really have, yeah. It's amazing.
His success with SpaceX is a testament to his persistence, his engineering ingenuity, and his ability to attract and inspire some of the brightest minds in the world.
Yeah, for sure.
So as we try to assess his legacy, I think we have to acknowledge both the triumphs and the controversies.
Yeah, you got to take the good with the bad.
Right.
Yeah,
He's a complex figure who defies easy categorization,
he does, yeah.
and his story will likely be debated and dissected for generations to come.
Most definitely.
But one thing is for certain,
What's that?
Elon Musk has changed the world.
He has.
He's pushed us to think bigger, to dream bolder, and to consider possibilities that once seemed like science fiction.
It's true, yeah.
Whether he's ultimately remembered as a hero, a villain, or something in between, his impact on the 21st century is undeniable.
I agree.
And that's perhaps the most important takeaway from this deep dive.
Yeah.
We've been challenged to look beyond the headlines, to examine the complexities of a truly influential individual, and to consider the profound ways in which technology is shaping our present and our future.
And as his story continues to unfold, it'll be fascinating to see how his legacy evolves and what impact he'll continue to have on the world.
I think you're absolutely right. Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the world of Elon Musk. We hope you found this exploration insightful and thought-provoking, and as always, we encourage you to continue exploring the sources we've provided and to form your own conclusions about this enigmatic and influential figure. Thanks for joining us.